Well, good evening. I'm going to be talking to just you people on Facebook and Twitter later, 8 o'clock. We're going to have Turf Talk. I thought I'd come to you now because um, trans activists have decided to repeatedly report me for old videos. I understand they're going through the back catalogue, and even though I'm winning appeals, it's becoming a bit of a pain. And we know that this is their way of trying to silence women because they can't win the freaking argument. Anyway, whilst I wait for some of you to join, don't even know how many of you can on Twitter, but whilst we wait for that, here's a little bit of why these big boys are so afraid.
Changed my mind. Maybe it was right that if you take those views, maybe you should be cancelled.
Wow. You're on Talk Radio, right? He said, we've had a complaint. Somebody's phoned up because in one of your videos, you're being untoward about paedophiles. Oh my God, don't be ridiculous. I'm not a vet, but I know what a dog is.
Would I go to a women's refuge in your world?
Well, no, because then it wouldn't be a women's refuge, would it?
Cancelled.
He's a man! There are boys and girls toilets in schools, and girls don't have access to single-sex facilities on the basis that we are changing. I'm asking you as a mother, do not use female spaces.
So then there's the problem, isn't it?
What do you have against trans women?
I don't. I just don't think they're women.
Cancelled.
What can I say? It's just me and you, maybe, Lynn. Look, I want to make it really clear to trans activists that you can report me, right? You can even get me taken off YouTube. You can get me silenced on platforms. But I'm back on Twitter now, which is my largest reach. And Elon Musk is not going to succumb to your whiny baby tantrums anytime soon. And Elon, if you're tuning in, which I'm sure you are, let me just say, you should buy YouTube. I understand it's good revenue. You should buy YouTube and you should make it a free platform, or just really improve the quality of videos streaming on Twitter, and YouTube will just close, because this is what happens. We all remember MySpace, and nobody uses that anymore. Anyway, this evening is brought to you by the brand new badge that you can find here. This is it in the flesh. It's a little bit brighter than that picture, and it's big enough to be seen, but it's subtle enough that you could get away with it. So that's great, isn't it? Also, we have this in the store that you can't see at all. So that's great. How do these makeup people do it? They do this and then something happens and it's magic. But anyway, there is a pink woman, adult, human, female, tiny badge in this most magnificent pink, because, clearly as women, that's the only color we can possibly wear. So I'm going to move this down to here. Welcome, one and all. I'm going to do a quick thing. I want to talk to the Prime Minister of Australia, who's so significant in all our lives that I can't remember his name. So that's great. But he was talking to Piers Morgan yesterday, and he seems to think. So Anthony Albanese, good evening to you. I know you watch me closely. You and Dan Andrews are my number one subscribers. And I just want to say to you that women speaking in Australia about their rights, women talking in public, is not stirring up issues. The reason I had to come to your country is because you don't let women speak. You let women be intimidated. You let women be terrorized on your streets in Melbourne and Adelaide and Tasmania, in Hobart. You let women be terrified into not being able to speak about not wanting penises in women-only spaces. And we also want to talk about the fact that it's barbaric beyond belief, barbaric beyond belief, to rob children of their sexual function and fertility. So that's what I'm going to say to you. I think it would be a good idea if before the next election, because I see Moira redeeming, as far as I'm concerned, a couple of election cycles and she'll be running your country, because she is one of the few women, the few people actually in Australia to stand up for women's rights. So be warned, because when the left go too far, people will want to kick you out of office. And at the moment, you're going too far. There is a weird unreality and untruth upon countries like New Zealand, Canada, United States of America, even in Republican held states. There is a weird untruth, and it's going to unravel, and it's going to unravel quicker than you possibly think. But it is coming. And if you keep characterizing women like me as problematic and that we are sort of bad, terrifying humans, then what's going to happen is everybody is going to think they've got precious little to lose. So they might as well be the things that you describe them as. They might as well decide that they will speak, they will disrupt, they will become a menace. I certainly feel that way. What I've done in this country, and I'm hoping that many women in Australia and Canada and America and Ireland and all other countries where this absolute madness, pretending that we don't know that only men have penises, where this madness festers, women will rise up against it. And once we do, we won't back down. There will be no place for anybody that doesn't know what a woman is. There will be no place for anyone in office. Because, look, why would we want you to make the decisions on whether or not we go to war, or whether or not we raise taxes, or whether or not we protect anybody? Why would we want anybody in that position, that position of power, who won't actually come out and say the truth, that they know what a woman is? It doesn't make any sense, and it's not going to happen. That's why I'm running against Keir Starmer. So it's just a very quick one. I'm going to come back at 8 o'clock for TERF Talk Wednesday, Women Whinging Wednesdays. I'm going to come back at 8 o'clock, so in about an hour's time, and talk to you all and take calls and do TERF Talk as normal. But we won't be on YouTube because at the moment, YouTube, something was reported. I appealed it. I was successful. And 2 weeks later, the same thing has been reported again. And this time they've refused the appeal, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and tells me that it really does depend on the person actually talking and reviewing. Sorry, the person reviewing the content. So they're not very good policies. They're absolute nightmare, stupid, idiotic policies. But if I do get cancelled from YouTube, there are plenty of other places that I will go. That will certainly happen. And it certainly won't stop me. I'll just be more inventive. I'll be the bloody prime minister if I have to stop this madness in this country, and in all countries that are supposed to be free. If that's what it's going to take, then that's certainly what I will do. As for the rest of you, you will have to tune into either Facebook or Twitter. I'm ever so sorry about that. But it would be lovely to see you. The phone lines will be open. We will be taking calls. Little boys who are allowed to use the phone and have a nice pay-as-you-go allowance, you can also call. And we welcome those calls because they make most of us laugh a lot. What else was I going to quickly say before I go? I think that's about it. But nothing's ever stopped me. And it's not about to. And I don't really care what you think is happening, because you can silence us on YouTube, you can cancel us from social media, and we will still know that you are not women. I hope that's very, very clear. And I will see you all in about 52 minutes. Bye.